There's a slightly different method to split this into partial fractions because one of the factors on the bottom is squared. And it means there's just two different parts to our method. The first tweak we need to make compared to simple partial fractions is on the first line. When you write this, it's going to look like what I'm about to write. Okay. For the repeated factor, you include it once as normal and again squared. We're not going to go into why this is the case now, but simply if you see a repeated factor, you have to remember to write it twice like this. Then our method is pretty much the same until we get to the end. So first of all, multiply both sides of the identity by this expression here. On the left, it's going to turn into that. And on the right, as with the last video, each fraction gets multiplied by this denominator. So this fraction is going to become that over here. There we go. Okay, 1 mark to get to this line, usually. And now we need to work out what A, B and C are. So just as before, we're gonna try and eliminate these brackets. So maybe we could start here and we could try and get rid of this bracket. So you're asking yourself, what do I need to sub in to make this bracket 0 for X? And it's -1. So we'll put -1 in and we'll see what happens. Right, on the left we get -1, 9, 4. Okay, that's going to disappear. This middle term is going to disappear because when we put the -1 in here, it's going to make this 0. So we'll have 0 times something, which will be 0. And then right on the end, we've got -1 in there, that's going to be -2. So by making these brackets 0, we're left with one unknown and we can solve it to find C. Done. Alright, next up, so I'm just looking up here, I want to work out another letter. I suppose we could make this bracket equal to 0 here. So the question is, what X value do you sub in to make the bracket 0? It's 1. Have a look at what happens when we put it in. Okay, -1, -10, -11, -16. Oh, crikey. Okay, 1's going in, so we're going to get 1 + 1, 2 squared, which is 4. This bracket disappears. This bracket disappears. Great. Okay, we've worked out C, we've worked out A. Now we just need to get B. So to work out B, if we use the method we've just been using, I need to make these two brackets disappear. If I want to make this one disappear, I have to put 1 in. But that will make the B term disappear as well, because we've got the same factor. Likewise, if I want to make this term disappear, I have to put -1 in. But that means when I put -1 in here, again, the middle term will disappear and I won't be able to work out B. So we need a slightly different approach. There's two things you can do. One is, since you've worked out A and C, and this identity is true for any value of X, what you could do is just sub in a different X value. And that means in this identity, your only unknown will be B. So we're going to sub in any X value except for these two. So choose a nice X value, put it in and have a look at what happens. Let's go with X is 0. Okay, so we get -5. Okay, 0 goes into here. We know what a is. It's -4. 0 goes in here, we get 1 squared. Okay. Right, middle term. We don't know b, we're trying to work it out. Here, 0 goes in, we get -1. 0 goes in, we get 1. And finally, on the end, we've worked out c already, so we can sub that in. And 0 goes in here, -1. Brilliant. And what's happened is, we've got our equation, there's only one unknown, so we can work it out. Okay, let's evaluate this line, see what we get for b. So -4 minus b plus 2. So what do we get? 1, 3. Let's check that's right. 1. Yep, looks good. Alright, and then we can just write our answer at the end. So we get -4. Now it's written in partial fractions, and we can do some useful things with it. Like, it'd be a lot easier to integrate compared to this, and perhaps we could do a binomial expansion as well.